This may look like a video game, but it's actually a new tool that could revolutionize the way doctors train for the operating room. It's called the V-Blast, and it's a virtual surgery simulator developed by Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute's Suvranu Day. The simulator uses touch feedback to help doctors develop the fine motor skills needed for laproscopic surgery, a common weight loss procedure. Day says the high-tech training tool provides an experience that is as authentic as practicing in the operating room, but eliminates the potential harm to patients.
These are all done by trial and error now, either on inanimate models or animals or directly on the human patients, essentially using patients as guinea pigs. And typically we know that learning curves, which is the number of patients that a person or that a surgeon takes to learn a particular surgery, is of the order of anywhere between 50 to 100. So that many patients are typically at risk when surgical procedures are learned in the operating room.
The virtual surgery simulator uses touch feedback, which realistically replicates the sensations a surgeon would feel when performing the procedure. In its early stages, the device used 2 forceps to pick up blocks that had the same resistance that organs and tissue would have. In its latest form, however, students look at lifelike graphic versions of the esophagus, stomach, and spleen, and highly sophisticated algorithms create sounds and visuals that alert doctors when making mistakes. The RPI team have been collaborating on the simulator with doctors at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center in Boston. Dr. Neil Kantak, a first-year surgical resident, has tested both generations of the simulator.
You have real-life feedback when you grasp a block. You can feel the amount of resistance in your hands change. You can understand that you're grasping a block. Your hands can feel it. Your brain can sense it. In the new version, there are no actual blocks, but instead it's a screen with virtual blocks, and the device uses feedback technology to simulate that resistance so that you feel like you're actually performing the activity on a physical object that doesn't actually exist.
Ultimately, researchers say the V-Blast will give patients more confidence in their doctors before going under the knife because they're able to use the simulator to recognize deficiencies and get extra practice. Dr. Stephen Schweitzberg, president of the Society of American Gastrointestinal and Endoscopic Surgeons, says virtual technologies like the V-Blast are revolutionizing training for surgical students.
I believe that we will figure out a way to model the human body in a virtual world, and then we will be able to do, just like the pilots, the first 10 or 20, 25% of your training all virtually, so that you walk into your early operations with a degree of competency that hasn't been seen before in the history of surgery.
With technologies like the V-Blast, practice really can make perfect. Sharon Reich, Reuters.